Once upon a time, there lived a poor shoemaker and his kind-hearted wife. The shoemaker was honest and hardworking, but business had become so bad that one day he had only enough leather left to make a single pair of shoes. He carefully cut the leather into pieces, placed them neatly on his workbench, and decided to finish sewing them the next morning. Before going to bed, he prayed that better days would come. When the shoemaker woke up the next morning, he was astonished. Sitting on the workbench was a perfectly finished pair of shoes. Every stitch was flawless, and the craftsmanship was finer than anything he had ever made. Soon a wealthy customer entered the shop, admired the shoes, and gladly paid a generous price for them. With the money, the shoemaker bought enough leather to make 2 more pairs of shoes. Once again, he cut the leather, arranged the pieces on the table, and went to bed. The following morning, the 2 pairs of shoes were already finished. They were even more beautiful than the first pair. Customers quickly bought them, paying enough money for the shoemaker to purchase leather for 4 pairs. Night after night, the same wonderful thing happened. The shoemaker prepared the leather before bed, and every morning he found perfectly crafted shoes waiting for him. His shop became famous throughout the town, and before long, he was no longer poor. People traveled from far away to buy his excellent shoes. As Christmas drew near, the shoemaker and his wife became curious about the mysterious helper who worked while they slept. One evening, instead of going to bed, they quietly hid behind a curtain in the workshop and waited. At the stroke of midnight, 2 tiny elves appeared. They wore old, ragged clothes and had no shoes on their little feet. Working with incredible speed and skill, they stitched, hammered, and polished every pair of shoes until the work was complete. Then they laughed happily and disappeared into the night. The shoemaker and his wife were filled with gratitude. "These little elves have brought us happiness and saved our lives," said the wife. "We must thank them." Since the elves had worn such worn-out clothes, the couple decided to make them gifts. The shoemaker crafted a tiny pair of beautiful shoes for each elf, while his wife carefully sewed warm jackets, shirts, trousers, hats, and gloves. On Christmas Eve, instead of leaving leather on the workbench, they placed the tiny clothes and shoes there. That night, the elves arrived as usual, expecting work. They were delighted to find the wonderful gifts instead. Laughing with joy, they quickly dressed in their new clothes and admired their shiny new shoes. They danced around the workshop, singing merrily, then skipped out the door into the moonlight. From that night onward, the elves never returned. Although the mysterious helpers were gone, the shoemaker had learned their skill and had earned an excellent reputation. His business continued to flourish because customers trusted his honesty and admired his fine work. He and his wife never forgot the kindness of the little elves, and they lived happily for the rest of their lives, always remembering that gratitude, generosity, and hard work bring the greatest rewards.